The University Wits. The University Wits. The witty students of Cambridge and Oxford are called University Wits. Young dramatists, the, they wrote play and dramas, are called University Wits. There are some University Wits: Christopher Marlowe, Thomas Gate, Thomas Nash, Robert Greene, John Lilly, George Peele, Thomas Laws. All are University Wits. Now Thomas Gates. Thomas Gates is a famous University Wit. He wrote Father he is called Father of English Revenge Tragedy. His famous tragedy is the Spanish tragedy. He wrote Revenge tragedy for the first time in English literature. The Spanish tragedy is considered a topical pre-Shakespearean bloody drama. Thomas Kate, actually Spanish tragedy writer, and Shakespeare wrote, wrote Hamlet to follow the Spanish tragedy. Thomas Gates, after Christopher Marlowe. Christopher Marlowe was born 1564 and died in 1593. Christopher Marlowe was a Elizabethan period poet. He did some great works such as Tamlin the Great, and the tragical history of Dr. Faustus. Tragical history of Dr. Faustus. Zio of Malta. Zio of Malta has to big history, and these are also blind birds. Edward II, 1592. Edward II is unquestionably Marlowe's masterpiece. Christopher Marlowe, Malta, the Geo of Malta. We can repeat again the works of Christopher Marlowe. Tamlin the Great, Edward II. It was published 1593. The Passionate Shepherd to His Love. It was poem, and Dr. Faustus. The Passionate Shepherd to His Love has a famous words quotations, that is, "Come, live with me, and be my love, and all the pleasure proves the passionate shepherd to his love." The passionate shepherd to his love, hero and leader. It was lyrical. It was lyrical. After Christopher Marlowe, then you can say the Jacobean is, and John Benson was led this as Jacobean is James Joyce Swan. James Joyce was born 1603 to 1625. John Benson actually was a comedy. He is connected with medical theory. All Johnson works connected with medical theory. Here's some drama, almost 10. The most important drama, sir. The case is altered. Case is altered, then every man in his humor, then Balpun. Balpuni is the big, best and famous. The fox, the beast, fable. Then the Silent Woman. Silent Woman was written by John Benson and 1609. Then Every Man Out of His Humor. It was published 1599. The Tale of Two. The Tale of Staff Comedy. The Isle of Dogs Comedy. The Alchemist Comedy. Alchemist was published 1610. Bartholomew Fair Comedy. Then the New Enord, The Lights Hearts. It's also a comedy. John Johnson best work is The Silent Woman, Alchemist, Balcony the Fox. Then Every Man in His Humor, The Every Man Out of His Humor. After Ben Jonson, you can see a big writer was John Webster. John Webster's proclaimed himself as the Shakespearean at the Gold Globe Theatre. John Webster, his famous work is The White Devil, The Duchess of Malfi. The Duchess of Malfi has some great characters: Ursula, Ferdinand, and Cardinal. John Webster, the writer, revealed the Raven's tragedy. Webster's White White Devil is the famous tragedy written by John Webster. Then you can see the most important poet, great poet, the great epic poet of John Milton. John Milton is called the great master of verse. John Milton is called the great master of verse. John Milton actually was eulogy Lycidas. John Milton's best work is Eulogy and Lycidas. Aeropagitica Aeropagitica pamphlet or Aeropagitica is a pamphlet. It's written by John Milton. Paradise Lost theme is justify the weight of Waterman. The central character was a Shatan. Paradise Lost is separated into 12 books or sections, the length of which aggregately the longest is Book 9 with 1189 lines and the shortest Book 7 with 640 lines. It is originally divided into 10, afterwards into 12 books. His famous works, John Milton's famous works was Paradise Lost, The Great Effect, the 12 books, Paradise Regained in 4 books, and Samson Against, a novel drama on the Greek model. On his blindness, a famous sonnet, Aeropagitica, Aeropagitica is a pamphlet and essay. Actually, John Milton is famous for epic poet and his gratific poem. Samson agonist, Lycidas, Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained, Europagitica is the best work of John Milton. John Milton quotes, he says some words in his book. Better to rejoin in hell than serve in heaven, Bishop Shatan in Paradise Lost. Child shows the man, and morning shows the days. These two words says Paradise Regained. Francis Bacon, 1561 to 1626. Francis Bacon, actually a famous essayist. Essayist, his essays is the famous all over the world. Francis Bacon called the father of English essays and poets. Francis Bacon was an English philosopher, statesman, scientist, jurist. Francis was also orator and author. He served both as a Attorney General and as a Lord Chancellor of England. His Psalms essays start by of, chaos of, men's about, of studies, of love, of men's about. His all-original work is there, of truth, 1625, of ravens, 1625, of parents and children, 1612, and last 1625, of NY and NB 1625, of great place, 1612, silently enlarged in 1625. History of his History of Lives and Death. Of death 1612 and life 1625. Then of adversity 1625. Or marriage and single life 1625. Love 1612 written 1625. Novum Organum New Method the New Atlanteans or Study. Thomas Cotto Francis Bacon. Reading makes a full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. Studies serve for delights, for ornament, and for ability. Some books are to be tasted, other of he shallot, and some few to be chewed and digested. It means something from everything, and everything from something of studies. Francis Bacon's also some words, a mixture of the life just about at pleasure, then others it is impossible to love and to be wise. Opportunity makes a thief. Francis Bacon encompasses the concept that anyone would be capable of committing a thief if there are no controls in place and no punishment for the crime. Wives are young men's mistresses, companions for middle-aged and old men's nurse of marriage and single life. That is Francis Bacon's work. Francis Bacon, the father of English essays. Francis Bacon, the father of English essays. It was